Radhe Radhe everyone. Today we are going to watch a video about Glory of Divine Name by Jagadguru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, and it's translated by Divakari Devi Ji from Radha Madhav Dham, United States of America. My humble pranams to my Divine Master's Divine Lotus Feet for giving the world the precious treasure of divine knowledge. Due to his compassionate, merciful nature, seeing the souls are miserable due to ignorance. Listen very attentively to every word. What does ignorance mean? It means that the souls do not identify themselves as the soul. They think of themselves as the physical body. It is due to this ignorance that all the souls are in distress. Firstly, I must give them knowledge. I must wake them up by giving them knowledge. They should understand what is my true identity and how will I attain my ultimate goal. Which path will help me reach my goal? This is the work that a saint will do. Along with me, you all can bow down to my Divine Master's Divine Lotus feet. And let's all pray to Him through our mind to follow His instruction and to practice in our daily life and to get rid of these material sufferings and to live a peaceful life and to walk in the path of bhakti. Glory of Divine Name. You see, we either don't realize the importance and the significance of the divine name of God, or we simply don't accept it. For this reason, a lot of people sitting here don't chant the divine name, or even if they do chant, they chant it half-heartedly. We don't even experience the same sweetness while chanting Hare Bol that we experience upon calling the name of mother, father, son, wife and husband. I urge you all to ponder upon what I am saying when you are alone. In relation to the divine name, Gauranga Mahaprabhu has said, people ask as to how God could be Akaran Karun, causelessly merciful. Akaran Karun means the one who graces without any condition, without devotion, without a price. Why is this so? If God is unconditionally merciful, then why doesn't He liberate us from the clutches of Maya? Without a price, we are wandering in the cycle of 84 lakhs pieces. Gauranga Mahaprabhu said, I will tell you how God is called Akaran Karun, causelessly merciful. In his Ashtapadi, he revealed a verse. God Himself resides in His own name. This isn't true for a worldly name. If your father is in England and day and night you keep chanting his name, it's going to make no sense. It will be like idle babbling. On the other hand, what is so special about remembering God's name? God Himself resides in His own name. And not only that, God resides in His own name along with all his powers. This is another divine wonder and miracle. However, many powers God possesses. Just like when God manifested himself in the jail, there was neither any kind of search or inquiry that took place, nor did he defeat the guard standing outside. He just appeared with four arms fully adorned with decorations. At 16 years of age, before his parents who were imprisoned, he did not come from his mother's womb. He was also holding the disc in his lotus hand. Just imagine what could have happened if God stayed in mother's womb with a disc. The effulgence and brilliance of the disc is equal to that of uncountable suns. Thus God imbued all his divine powers in his name. Look, my dear son, although I am all pervading, you are not going to be able to visualize me in my actual form. Why is that? Is it because you are shy? Oh no, if my actual form was perceivable, then all the souls would have become atheists. But why is that so when all the Paramahans, including Lord Shiva, became ecstatic upon seeing a divine form? Yes, that is true. However, we cannot have the same experience. Why is that? It is because our eyes are material made of the five structural elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. Only those souls who have divine eyesight can benefit upon receiving God's divine darshan, vision during his descension, and not the rest of the souls. We have seen Sri Ram and Sri Krishna uncountable times. God isn't senior to us since he is eternal and we are also eternal. Our sentiments are material made of Maya, as are our eyes, nose, ears, and all other physical senses. God's body is divine, perceivable to great divine personalities such as Brahma, Shankar, Sanakadiks, Janak, Sukdev, and Vedvyas who have divine vision. Even if God were to manifest himself before us, we would derive no benefit at all. Instead, we would turn around and say, "Okay, God, I offer my solutions to you," and also to those like Kripalu who are always talking so highly about you. I'll receive more bliss upon seeing my own son. How could I possibly believe that you are a God? As God said, "For this very reason I am not going to appear before you. Rather, I will reside in my own name and bestow the same grace upon you that I would have otherwise bestowed on you through my divine vision." We do not have faith in this extreme gracious kindness of God. Take my word for it. The day we will fully accept this divine truth, we will attain God realization that very day. But our attitude is, billions of Jagadgurus like Kripalu have given lectures and we have heard many of them and nodded, but never once did we accept their teachings. The original Jagadguru, Shankaracharya, has declared even name chanted without devotion has the power to destroy sins, and the same divine name lovingly remembered and chanted with such faith and devotion, God himself along with all his powers resides in the divine name that I am chanting. What could be said about the outcome of such devotional practice? For this reason, while chanting the divine name, you should not be careless, you should not lack faith, and you should not be ungenerous. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. I just want to share about Kripa, grace message. What should the souls do after being created? God then manifested his book of divine law, Ved. God thought the Ved will show the path of how to attain me and how to attain divine love. This is also the grace of God. We as souls never ask God to tell us what to do. As souls, we were simply live or conscious. God endowed us a physical body, and wherever we resided in the physical body, God also came and joined us as souls in the universe. We were unlimited, God also became unlimited, whether it was the body of a human being, of a celestial god, of a dog, of a cat, of a donkey, of any and every form of living being, whatever it may be. God equally entered the heart of every living being. Now, isn't all this the unconditional grace of God? Why would God ever care to sit our sinful hearts? Not only did God enter our hearts, but He also empowered our senses, mind, and intellect. All of these lifeless senses, mind, and intellect began to function. The eyes began seeing, ears began listening, and mind began to think. This is all the grace of God. Moreover, God brought into our heart the file of the accumulated karmas of our past uncountable lives. We had no clues as to where we were and what we were doing before total dissolution, as to how much devotion we had done and how many sins we had committed. On the basis of the account of our sins and devotion, God gave us inclination. We did a lot of devotion in our past life, so God created a situation so that we could meet a saint. We heard the divine teachings of the saint, which had an effect on our heart and mind. We were drifting toward the world, and God saved us from drowning into the world. God gifted us this precious divine knowledge in order to attract us toward Himself. All this is known as grace. God also became omnipresent, thus His grace is infinite. No one can measure the limit of God's grace. And then along came the saints who brought with them an even greater bundle of divine grace that even God cannot do. This is because the book of divine law that was revealed by God, who would understand it without the guidance of saints? There has to be someone to teach and educate all that is written in the Ved. Oh, it is such a book that if the greatest among all Jnanis, Brahma, couldn't even fathom it, then how could we ignorant souls possibly understand it? The saints they come for divine, they'd come from divine Goloka birth. They discreetly appeared in an ordinary form just like us. They come into the womb of the mother and assume a form as per the rules and regulations of this material world. After that, they grow up and distribute divine knowledge in the world in a visible and perceivable form. Just like us, this is the grace of God. The extremely tolerant, upon seeing them, we discuss, we argue, and we falsely reason with them. We create doubts in our mind toward them. Even after knowing that we do all that, they remain ignorant and keep forgiving us. They think it's okay, he will understand. He is just a child, he is ignorant. They never punish us, otherwise, you wouldn't be able to realize God. This is because we will commit transgressions due to our ignorance. It doesn't matter how intelligent a child may be. He will fall and stumble hundreds of times while learning to stand on his feet. It is not possible for anyone to start walking without any training. Oh, a child is not going to become a professor without first learning ka, kha, ga, ga or A, B, C, D. It is the Guru or the saint that makes all this effort. In other words, it is God's grace that makes it all happen. God and saints are all part of the same spiritual government. It doesn't matter whether you call it the grace of Guru or grace of God. Thus, grace is all they do always and nothing else. See how important grace, how important saints in our life is. In essence, God and saint cannot do anything aside from gracing the souls, and the soul under the influence of Maya can never grace anyone else. Both of these rules are irrefutable. All of you understand. Thank you. Such a beautiful message by my Divine Master. See how important saints in our life to follow his instructions and to practice in our daily life and to get rid of all the material sufferings. How to practice? You all can ask. You can use the high technology. You can watch our YouTube channels. You can countless. My Divine Master's lectures, teachings are countless in YouTube channels. You can subscribe to our YouTube channels and you can listen to his divine teachings every day. And not only listening but to practice in our daily life as well. And you can download our apps Kripalu and Sanatana Vedic Dharma apps, and in one stop you can get everything for spirituality. We have countless lectures, kirtans, divine knowledges. You can browse our online bookshop, JKP online bookshop, and you can read my Divine Master's divine teachings as well. And don't forget to share with your friends and relatives as well. Let's all try to purify our mind through his practice, through practicing my Divine Master's divine teaching in our daily life. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.